Alrighty, good morning everybody. It is Wednesday, July 17th, 2024. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. We're going to go back and take a look at what happened here yesterday. I do want to welcome in Ed here to the broadcast. So we're going to take a look and see here what happened yesterday. So yesterday was kind of trended higher. We did kind of peak up through to a new all-time high. You can see there's the high of the day before there, and they did technically push to a couple more points here. So what happened? Market open. We got a nice healthy pullback. Now there was a tag of the 200, as the market was kind of petering out here into the open, there was a tag of the 200, and you could have grabbed a 5-pointer right off of that with, again, no risk at all. But then kind of phase changed, got a little bit of a pullback, and then notice where the market had a whole bunch of trouble. 50% of the day before, right? So we have the market pushing out. And by the way, I do kind of want to mention here that we've been stair-stepping up each roadmap level. So from yesterday's market, or 2 days ago, they came down and they tagged right to our extension level, got through it, then we held the next extension level, and as you can see here, came back right to it in the pre-market before the market opened yesterday. Then they stepped up through there and held the next roadmap level here at 83, stepped up again and basically held the previous daily close. There was kind of a little shy peek through, got through that, came right back down to 50% of the day before for yesterday. And then the market opened here, as you can see, we just saw, and started to try and push, but petered out and then hit that 200. So, I mean, quite literally, just if you would have bought each roadmap level on the way up, you would have had a beautiful position there, right? So pull back, and then notice what happens here. They cannot hold below 50% of the day before, and basically continue with the stair step. We hold, there's the 50% level we hold, comes back and retests it, and then comes back up, holds the VWAP, and then begins to try and break out. Now on the pullback there, this right here was a break of the 200 by 2 points. Maybe 2.5 if you traded the 200 to the tick. So still, in terms of risk on the S&P, not too bad off the 200 there. And then right up, and the high of the morning, guys, and this is what blows me away, is we've been mapping these levels. Remember, we've never been up this high before, right? Or I should say, we did eventually get through there, but as of that moment, we had never been up into this area of the chart, and they came right to our next extension level that we had up on the higher time frames here, right, sitting there at 57.14 quarter, and pulled back right off it. So I guess the day before they had peaked through, pulled back, and then sure enough, we came right to it yesterday, and that was the high of the whole morning session, right? So again, blows me away. We've been seeing these holds off of extension levels to nearly to the tick as the market keeps pushing up to these new all-time highs. Does it work off every single extension that we have? No. But again, here's a great example over the last 2 days where we came right into it and been having trouble. And now, as you can see, we're pulling back away from that area. So that is that level right there. We came right to the tick. Beautiful bearish divergence right off of it. You could have grabbed yourself a beautiful short opportunity there. Hopefully taking some profit around the 200 in case that ended up holding, around VWAP if that kept holding, and then your runner for lower. And what happened on that sell-off there? You had, first of all, you had that opportunity to buy the 200 expecting the push higher. Unfortunately, what happened? Held right at the fast moving average, right? A clue that that's probably going to come back and retest that low. Comes back, you could have tried buying the VWAP, had a great opportunity with nearly zero risk. Of course, that only made it to the 200 moving average, and this is kind of normal stuff, right? You could have got a 5-pointer right into the 200, and then look at this. We got a double top, bearish divergence, testing the 200 in a pullback, and if you wanted to try a short from there, you got yourself another 10 points down, right back to 50% of the day before. And what happened at 50% of the day before? They held again. And then this began the push to the new all-time high. So again, buying the 50% level at the beginning of the day, maybe you took on a little bit more risk. Maybe that was about 2 to 3 points, just over 2 points. And then right here, what happened? You had a great opportunity to buy it with basically zero risk on these two tests here and just a couple ticks of risk on that first test. So great opportunities there. And then notice what happened. Taking profit around the VWAP and the 200 is what I would tell you if we were in this trade. And sure enough, you would have nailed the top end of that. And if you held on, you would have eventually gotten the push all the way to the new all-time high, right? And from there, if you didn't buy the 50% level, well, you had our retrace or extension level held to the tick. Then we got a little shy peek through, held to the tick, held within 2 ticks, and then the push out. So great opportunities to buy there, There were great long and short opportunities all day yesterday. And then once the market started to rip higher, there was that first aggressive pullback to the fast moving average. There's your first test of the 200 after a crossover, 0 ticks of risk. And then finally, they did come back and test into that pullback right there, right? And then go ahead and break out to the new all-time high. So in my opinion, lots of great opportunities yesterday. And then we even got a tag of the 200 right at the end of the day there for a little scalp from the 200 to the high of the day before there, right? So this is why I say if you just have the moving averages and our roadmap levels on the chart, you're going to see market just respect this stuff, trade inside of all these ranges, break out, pull back, hold the levels, and give you some of the best areas in the market to trade. So let's look at the pullback now from the new all-time high, which basically began in the overnight session here. Once again, this little peak, and let me see if I can zoom this in here, the little peak up into the VWAP here right out of the open, got a little bit of bearish divergence, and then what do you know, and I bring this up nearly every single day, I'd say 90% of the time, we come in here and I talk about this hold from VWAP, whether it's going to be a hold off the top end for a bounce higher or a hold below it. We had 2 perfect opportunities when the Globex session opened last night with 0 ticks of risk to fade the back end of VWAP with bearish divergence on the 512. And then even on that second test, even more divergence off that high. 0 ticks of risk, maybe 1 tick on that one, and you would have captured this whole sell-off, right? And on the sell-off, what do you know? They did go ahead and, like butter, go right through, or like a hot knife through butter, right through the first roadmap level, but then came right in to the next one, and you got your first bounce, right? So decent opportunity from there, and then should have recognized as the market's selling off here, great opportunity to jump in on an aggressive short with bearish divergence. You could have captured the continuation right into the low of the day before. That's probably where I would have wanted to take my profit, somewhere right around here, and then had my runner, but I don't think it got much further. Let's see. Oh, it did. So you could have left the runner on there and captured a whole bunch more, right? So great opportunities there. And then it just kept on selling off. I mean, I should probably zoom out here to where we are right now. And this is where we're at, right? Coming into the open, continuing to sell off. We are very close to 50% of last week, and that's that 56.59 level, right? So we've been getting this really nice, strong pullback in the overnight session. And right now, we are testing into a very critical level, right? If you're familiar, I know Ed's new, but everybody else knows we're sitting right here at 50% of last week.